Welcome back to Toni's YouTube channel.
Robyn said it first, guys. We are officially starting our interview series. I've been talking about it now for a very long time, and Robyn is officially here. So, welcome, Robyn. Thank you for being here.
Having me.
So, guys, we actually went to her yard this week. So, she's going to show us her horse, Ramsey, who she was riding for the video. So, let's go to that. Who do we have here today?
This is Capital Ramsey. He's my very special boy.
Oh. And how old is he?
He's 5 rising 6.
Okay.
We got him last year November at the auction, and so we haven't even had him for a year yet, and he's just fabulous.
Awesome. And how old is he?
He's 5.
He's
turning
5.
6.
And what breed is he?
He's a Capital. He's out of Rendiment and Hitoshi. He's very special because both of those stallions are gone. They've passed.
Okay.
So he's the last of his kind. Obviously, there's other babies from those 2 stallions that were on the auction as well, but they're very special.
And what are you jumping with him now at shows?
He's just started shows. He's done about 2, and we're doing 80 centimeters at the moment. Just getting him used to it. You know, there's a lot of scenery that the babies need to get used to, the environment that there's a lot of stress in the air at shows. So he just needs to get used to all of that and baby steps with him.
And what has been the biggest challenge for you, like raising preparing a young horse for show jumping?
I think it's definitely still controlling your own nerves, because you're riding a baby, you still have your own nerves, and then you have to control your nerves for the baby. The baby picks up on everything. I've got treats in my pocket, so that's what he's busy going for.
He's smart. He knows where it's at.
And yeah, it's just controlling your own nerves and keeping a cool head, I think.
Yeah.
Because as human beings, we just overthink everything.
Yeah. Oh, and what tips do you have for someone that's bringing up a young horse for show jumping, in the sense of what is something that you would suggest for them to do or look out for when buying a young horse that they want to bring up themselves?
So I think the biggest thing that you have to do with a baby is not rush them. I think you got to take baby steps, and just even if you're jumping in the 120s doesn't mean he can.
Yeah.
So just take it very slowly. I think of it as a pyramid. So you need to get the bottom base of that pyramid really strong so that you can just fly up the grades.
Yeah.
So right now we're just, as long as we need to be completely confident.
Yeah.
And just so that we don't have any speed bumps along the way.
Yeah.
Obviously there will be, but just taking it slow with him, so he's got enough time to think and just soak in all of that.
Yeah. And you looks like you have a lot of experience with bringing up young horses. Is this something you've done a lot of in your life?
So my parents never really bought me horses that were already going. We didn't really have the capital for that. So I always got green horses.
Okay.
And, my dad and my mom having riding experience themselves, my dad didn't want to give me the easy way out. So even my first pony when I was 13, she was green. She was an Arab cross warm blood. She hadn't really jumped that much, but my dad saw something in her, so we got her.
Well, that's also made the rider that you are today. I think it's a very special thing,
so.
And also teaches you a lot about horsemanship, because you can...
He's probably he's the first horse that we've gotten that has probably got some real breeding behind him. Everything else has been thoroughbreds off the track. Train it yourself, teach it how to jump.
Yeah.
That's why Fireaway is so special to me. I mean, we got him when he was turning 3. He was my dad's horse initially. When my dad broke his femur, I was very lucky to be given him.
Yeah.
He's still obviously in my dad's name. He likes to hold that over me. He likes the fact that his name is announced first before mine in the shows. But, it just... I was very fortunate to have Fireaway and how clever he is to learn,
Yeah. Well done for that. And I think it's very cool because not a lot of people are able to train horses to... Sometimes we have to bribe the horses, guys, for interviews. They don't understand what's going on. But anyway, let's get on. Well, you get on him. And then let's go to the arena. Cool.
I've been contemplating all my time. My thoughts make me tired, just running through my mind. Wonder if there's peace I could find, instead of always being on the grind. I need a new purpose.
Okay, Robyn, tell us about your routine when you start riding. What do you do? What is your routine?
I always start off with a nice walk, long rein, just getting your horse nice and warmed up, taking it easy, letting them trot loose and long, stretch down to their toes, anything they need to do. Just taking things slowly.
So when you warm up, do you walk him on a loose rein in the sense of you're not playing on your reins at all?
Yeah, no, I like to leave their mouth alone for the
Okay.
first bit of riding. Just let them stretch, let them play with the bit, move it around in their mouth if they want to. Just holding the buckle, actually, and just letting them walk around, have a trot on the buckle as well. And then once you feel like they're nice and warm and ready to start some actual work that takes some brain power, then you get started.
You start trotting, and then after a while, you trot on the loose rein, and then do you go?
Then I start asking for a nice contact. Then I'll start my circling work. After getting him on a contact loose and supple, then I'll start maybe doing some circle, spiraling in on the circle, spiraling out.
Okay.
But he is a baby, so these kinds of things we're kind of taking it slowly.
Okay, so what tips would you give a nervous rider? How would you tell them to build their confidence up with horse riding?
I would just take baby steps, take things slowly. Usually when someone's lost confidence, something has happened. Maybe you've jumped an oxen, fallen off, it can be the silliest thing that can break your confidence. But I think it's about just bringing yourself back up slowly and making sure that there's no miscommunications between you and your horse.
And what is a time where you struggled with confidence, and how did you overcome that?
I had a big fall on my thoroughbred, Far Away. He actually fell on top of me. It was with the tiniest little oxer. I was not paying attention at all. Completely rider error. And for a long time I was completely nervous with oxers where I just froze coming into the jump and I just let him make the decision, which it was an uneven partnership. So I definitely think counting and maybe singing a song to distract your nerve and focusing on your breathing helps you quite a lot.
You said you let him make the decision,
So
meaning?
you kind of coming to the jump, I feel like if you've had something where you've had a fall or something, you freeze. So you don't make the decision whether you're on a long stride or a short stride.
Okay,
you don't make the decision to go for it or whoa. You just do nothing.
Yeah.
And then that's where you have a pole or you have a fly at the jump and your horse hits the back rail. So just taking it slowly. And that's what I did with me in Fire Away. I mean, I went right back down. I got an instructor that really worked for me confidence-wise. She just actually distracted me completely of what I was jumping, by making me laugh. We would chat in between courses. And that really just, I think having the right coach as well builds your confidence in a way.
Yeah. And would you be willing to tell us about any bad experiences you've had at a show?
I don't think I've really had bad experiences at a show. I'm very, I don't know, I forget things. I'm forgetful. There's been quite a few times where I've forgotten my girth going to the show. And my dad had to go to a friend's house and got like 16 billion girths thrown at him. And we found one to fit. And I've forgotten my show jacket and my helmet. So there's been incidents in the past.
For those that don't know, riding a horse with a loose girth is like riding a car on a highway with wheels that are loose, right? The wheel, what's it called? The screw.
Well, if you have good balance, you'll be fine. But if you're very wobbly on the saddle and you go around the turn and you turn with the horse, I don't think you want to be riding upside down. It's not the best.
That would actually be a new sport. We can invent a new sport, riding horses upside down. Well, the horse rides you.
But it's also definitely a warning to always check your girth before you get on, even if you have great balance. Sometimes
and remember your helmet. Protect your brain.
Yeah.
And please tell us about what horse riding has meant for you. What are the mental benefits to horse riding? And what
Well-
has it done for you in your life?
Listen, I've always struggled in school with bullying and not making friends, and I've always found the yard is a great place to meet people that have the same interests as you. For me, it was ponies. So I think it's a great place to just find who you are with horses, especially because you have to be yourself. If
Yeah.
you're nervous and you're holding back, they sense that. And especially if you've had a bad day. I mean, you can feel it. Horses also have bad days. But when you get on and you've stressed from someone's made you upset, usually your horse will be hyperactive. So I just love the way that horses are
They kind of ground
spiritual
you.
in an aspect, and they ground you and they calm you down. And yeah, I just...
It's also calmed you, especially I think when you get on and you're feeling anxious. I've also said this before. It just like, it completely goes away because you can't think of anything else. You're on a 500-kilogram animal and you cannot think of anything else, so it just kind of disappears. I've had times when I've gotten on and I've just had it like we started crying on, which is also good because you're letting yourself feel
The amount
that.
of clients I have, I mean, I teach little kids how to ride, and the amount of clients I have when I say, please talk to me about what's happened at school before you get on. Because if something's happened, someone's been mean to you or something, they hold it in, and then halfway through their ride, the horse will start acting up, and I'll just say, are you okay? And then they'll just burst into tears. And then after they had that cry, and they've gotten out their emotions, they've vented, they've screamed, or whatever they need to do of what happened at school, the riders are completely changed. The horses completely changed. You just see them let go of that energy. They feel your stiffness. They feel... And I'm also a firm believer that if you're riding your horse and you're having a bad day, just get off.
Yeah.
There's no point of
You can also just
fighting.
groom your horse.
Yeah,
you don't have to be right.
Or go for a hack. You
Yeah.
don't always have to do something if you're not in the right frame of mind.
And what would you say is good exercises to keep a horse stimulated, or especially a board horse that lives in a yard? What exercises do you do to keep your horse stimulated?
I definitely think horses get used to just going around the edge of the arena, just riding that square. So doing lots of circles, maybe if there's jump in the arena, do circles around those jumps, change reins, do figures of eights. As you saw in Ramsey, I like walking him into cavalettes, the small cavalettes, just to get him picking up his feet and taking notice that he actually has 4 feet. Sometimes with these babies, they like trip over themselves, or Ramsey drags his back feet everywhere. So you can see where Ramsey's gone.
And that's also where you do the rising trotting pole.
Yes, just to get him to actually lift up his core and come into himself a bit. I always warm up over a cross.
Okay.
I always do. I think that's just built into me, whether it's either a cross or really tiny upright. I mean, I warm up over. With the babies, I always warm up over a cross on a circle, twice on the one rein. If they pop it nicely, change rein, pop it twice on the other.
What advice would you give to someone like me who's struggling to get their strides in?
Counting. When you start your riding canter, when you start your jumping canter, start counting. That's one of my instructors gave me that advice.
But do you count in your head or out loud?
I count out loud. I feel like it helps with my anxiety. It gets me to breathe correctly, and it gets me to speak. Which the biggest thing is that when you're speaking, your horse is listening. So in that way, you're also calming your horse down.
Yeah, because
especially with babies. I mean, you start counting in, and you're counting your rhythm. And you can also feel when you're counting if one strut, like you're slowing down and speeding up. So I think to help with your anxiety, I would just count. Counting is the best thing you can do, whether you're counting to 100 to the jump. Just count.
And what's a good way to teach young horses tight turns, like especially when you did a jump and you have a tight turn, for them to find their balance? Like, how do you teach them to? Is it small circles?
I think first you
10 meter
gotta first start with maybe doing a big 20-meter circle and slowly spiraling them in and spiraling them out, because that is a balance thing. You gotta get them used to bending that way.
And you did a grid work exercise here. What is the benefit of doing a grid work exercise?
I think the benefit is also getting your striding correctly. Your horse can have confidence in, and with an exercise like that, especially with babies, you can build the oxa a little bit bigger than what you would usually do on an oxa standing on its own. Because you build confidence through the line. So when you're coming in, I think a good thing is to let them figure it out for themselves and start off small. And then you'll build up slowly in the first lesson.
And what do you do when a horse refuses the jump? Do you kind of analyze the situation? Was he being naughty? Was he nervous?
I think you exactly have to do that. You got to take it from whence it comes with the horse and the rider. You can see if it's obviously the horse has done it before and it's just being naughty, then I would bring it in again and give a little voice action. But I think it all depends on the horse and rider.
Yeah.
For Fire Away, I feel like we have had a few shows where he's stopped at a fence and it's been a miscommunication of stride. So we've come there too deep and he can't make it in the 120s as he could in the 110s. In the 110s, getting deep, he could make it over.
Yeah.
But that 10 centimeters does make a difference.
If you're jumping that high.
So there's been a few times where he's stopped and I don't really make a big deal of it. I just give him a little stroke on the neck because he completely overreacts. He hops and he's like, oh my goodness, I did wrong. And I'm like, relax, I'm not going to do anything. And I just give him a pat, I talk to him and I come in again. You know, you got to use these things as a teaching moment. I mean, if we went into every show ring and we did fabulous, why are we doing it? We're doing it for the thrill. We're doing it to get better. And I think that's the best thing about horse riding is the more you ride, the better you get. I mean, it's one of the most inclusive sports in the fact that women and men are competing against each
100%
other.
100% girls, say it.
And people of all different ages are competing against each other. And the top riders are older than us. I mean, and they are the best in the biz. So as far as I'm concerned, I can't wait to be freaking that 90-year-old granny jumping the 150s and everybody is holding their hat hoping that I'll be okay. And I can't wait. But I'm fully in it for the journey. You know, I think when I was younger, I was constantly like, I want to be in the 130s when I'm 18. But you got to be realistic.
Setting that expectation.
Very high standards, but it's very grounding work. I mean, you ride, it's your horse isn't a machine, so you can't just take it to the mechanic and say fix it. If your horse loses a shoe, especially for Fire Away, that's 3 days he's off. You know, you gotta, there's constant setbacks in riding.
So you really value horsemanship. It's not nice to see when people don't value that and they use the horse as a machine.
It's not nice.
It's
you gotta,
really bad.
it's a partnership, and it's, for me, it's one of the most purest partnerships because you've got a team and your partner doesn't speak English.
And also, horses are very honest. If he doesn't like you, good luck. You know, he's going to say, if you're not a nice person to him, I mean, you know, there are horses that are out of fear acting obedient, but I mean, a real partnership, that horse is doing it because he loves you and he wants to make you happy.
And also, I think, if you have the right horse, I love seeing a horse with spirit. You know, a horse that jumps the jump and has fun afterwards. Yeah. You know, that's my best. You know, then you know the horse is really enjoying his job. His or her job. You know, inclusive.
Non-binary horse. Okay, guys, we filmed a cool montage of Robyn riding. I'm talking action shots. I'm talking she's the next... Is it action star? Who's an action star? Tom Hanks, no? Tom Cruise. Okay, she is the next Tom Cruise.
Dude,
guys,
that's the shooty guy.
Yeah, but he plays an action.
Wait, you sound like I'm gonna be rolling over my pony with a pistol.
I'm just gonna be jumping off a... Okay, we're getting carried away.
We're the next high jump champion.
No, I'm joking. Don't make too many promises. They're gonna see this video and they're gonna be like,
okay, guys, it's a very cool montage. It's very action-filled. It's very cool. So let's go to that. you enjoyed this episode. Thank you, Miss Robyn
Thank you, Toni.
Chinery is her surname. I hope I said that right.
Toni Griof.
Guys, my surname is changing. I'm getting married. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciated it. And thank you for being honest with us and vulnerable. And we cannot wait to see how far you come in your riding journey.
Thank you. I'm
I
very
will
excited.
be standing behind you guys. I'm also going to start doing some lessons with Robyn. So I'm going to also be vlogging that, guys. Remember,
I'm gonna put her on Stevie.
Stevie, we haven't shown on the YouTube channel yet, but remember to watch the video of Patches. I rode her little pony, guys. He's like this height. No, I'm joking. He's this height. I'll give him more credit. He's this height. So make sure to watch that video, guys. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, and we'll finish it. Say,
We'll see you next week.
bye. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to a new. Okay.
I almost grabbed your butt. I'm trying to pull myself closer.
Wait, I had another question now. Give me 2 seconds. Something about show jumping. Thank you so much.
You're having me here. I don't know, baby, don't put that in.
Sorry.
I am tall.
Wait, I can go lower.
Yeah, good luck. Down. Over it.
The light. Chloe. Oh, you are so innocent, but honestly, dude.
We do it once.
I'm not even in. Hello? I'm the star here. Okay, then it's gonna go to that. I'll put in
Don't
captions.
cry.
Robyn won't even watch this video.
I want a goat.
That's not a horse.
I want a goat.
Okay, she wants a goat.
A miniature goat.
What do you want to do with the goat?
Train it to jump.
I don't think you can jump 130.
Put it on.
They're very athletic. They remind me of myself.
They're fabulous. Yeah, you're just a workhorse, Toni. Using your seat sleep. Using your seat.